Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Alex with BC Adventure. Today we're going to be looking at finishing setting up our Windows Server 2016 Essential setup that we did in the last video. Some of the things we're going to be doing is setting up remote applications for our server users. We're going to be setting up anywhere access so that we can access our server from our laptops or on the web outside of the home or office, as well as setting up automatic backups for our server. With that being said, let's jump right into it. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is open Server Manager, which I already have open here. To do that, you're just going to go to your Start menu and you're going to go to Server Manager. Now, to publish remote applications, we're going to need to add some roles and features. And what exactly is remote application or application publishing? So, what that allows us to do is host applications that run on our server but are accessible to our client computers. Now, the great thing about publishing applications is that it's not dependent on the computer's resources that you're opening the application on. It's actually using your server's resources, which are often a lot more powerful than the computers that we're using. Um, so, one of the things that, or applications that I'm going to publish is Photoshop. As we all know, that is a subscription-based service, and what I'm going to do is sign in to Photoshop on the server and then publish the application for remote users. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I have a laptop that is extremely subpar and it wouldn't be able to run Photoshop reliably. So the server, though, has enough resources, more than enough resources to run it reliably, which I can do from my laptop. So we're going to go ahead and get that set up. And then anywhere access, that's fairly simple. If you recall in the previous video, or I gave the instructions or the PowerShell code on how to set up TLS 1.2. It's an older security protocol, so it's not really recommended. But if you're not storing sensitive information on your server and have it set up in a environment where it can access secure information or sensitive information anywhere else on your network, then if it's a sandbox environment essentially, then feel free, go ahead. Share your server online. There are other safer ways to do it, like I mentioned previously, which is using a VPN that's either baked into your router or um, running on either a server or one of your computers, and you've set all that up. Um, I'm gonna be doing this for demonstration purposes, and then I'm gonna actually disable the remote access or anywhere access and set it up using a reverse proxy because it's a little bit safer, and I can put in some security protocols in front of it. So, and then of course the backup. We're gonna learn how to set up a backup destination. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click up here on Add Roles and Features. And if you're wondering why I'm looking up, is because I have a monitor above my main monitor where my camera's mounted. So here we've got, before you begin, we're just going to skip that. And then we're going to select Remote Desktop Services Installation. And then next, we're going to do Quick Start. And then next. And we want to do session-based desktop deployment. Now, keep in mind, because we're going to be installing remote desktop protocols, a remote desktop license is required for Microsoft Windows Server. The license key that I have and that I'm going to be setting up with my copy of Windows actually comes with 50 user licenses. So I'm going to be okay in this situation. However, it will only work for, I believe it's 120 or 180 days. They give you a trial, a 50 user trial. But after that, you would have to purchase either a license key for Windows Server, or you would have to purchase, in addition to that, depending on the license key you buy, some what's called user CALs. So just keep that in mind for the future if you do want to set this up on a permanent basis. So we're going to do session-based desktop deployment, and then this is all correct. We're going to hit next. And then it is going to be installing the remote desktop connection broker, the remote desktop web access, and the remote desktop session host. So we want to select restart the destination server automatically if required, and then deploy. Now, this is going to start installing, and then it will, we're going to need to reboot. And then if your server dashboard doesn't open automatically, you're going to want to go ahead and open it again to continue the installation. If it doesn't work the first time after rebooting, you get a failure. Don't worry. Check for updates. Make sure your server's up to date, and then just restart again, and then open server dashboard, and it will finish whatever or correct whatever error happened. So we're gonna go ahead and let this install. Oh, there we go. It just rebooted. So once that's back up, we'll jump back into it. All right, so we're booted back in. Now, server dashboard didn't open, so we're just gonna, or server manager didn't open, so we're just gonna go ahead and open it. And here you see it's gone right back into setting it up. So we're just gonna go ahead and wait for this to finish up, and then we'll get back into it. Okay, so we see here that session collection failed, unable to create session collection. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do a restart. This actually happened when I did a dry run of this. So what we're going to do is another restart. We're just going to close this out. That warning, that red flag that was up there was just warning us about the failed installation. And here we have the warning about the remote desktop services will stop working in 118 days. So it's 120 that they give you for a trial. It's saying 118 because I previously installed the remote desktop services just to give it a trial run before I did the tutorial. And then here we see remote desktop licensing mode is not configured. So we'll just close that, and we're going to do another restart. And then when we do the setup of the application, we'll see that the session host is, or session collection is actually installed and working. Okay, so we see the session host is up and running. So simple restart got that going. So to publish an application, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to quick session collections. And then here you can see that we have no remote app programs here. So we can publish a remote application, and it's really easy to do. So it's just gonna give us a list of applications that we can select from. But we don't want to select any of these. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open Firefox, and I'm just gonna head on over to Adobe. So here we got Photoshop. I'm just gonna go ahead and download. All right, so it's gotten Adobe Creative Cloud installed, and now, as we can see, it's installing Photoshop. I'm actually going to go ahead and get another application downloaded to share as well. So while this is doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and get the other one installed as well. All right, so we have installed all the applications that we want to share. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Publish Remote Program. And here we see all the applications we can select. So as you see, I've added quite a few. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all the ones I want to share. So Excel, no, OneNote, not Outlook. Word, and then we're going to click next. Now it's going to confirm all the applications, and then we're going to click publish. So this might take a few minutes or not, depending on your server. Oh, we see it's done. Okay. So now all these applications are shared with all users who are set up to access this server. So what we'll do after we finish setting everything up, including the anywhere access and backup, is we will log in on our Windows 10 machine that's connected to the server, which we connected in our last video, and I'll demonstrate what that looks like. We're going to back out of the server manager, and we're going to open the server dashboard. And first thing we're going to do is set up server backup. So just maximize this. We'll click over here to set up server backup. And then if you want, read through the getting started guide. We're just going to click next. We're going to click show all drives that can be used. And then I'm actually just going to select, where are we here? I'm just going to select a 4 terabyte drive. Go next. And we're just going to label it server backup. And next. So I'm going to go with the standard backup twice a day. And next. And I do want it to back up my cache drive. And then if we open operating system, we can see that all our folders are selected. And we're just going to go next and then apply settings. Okay, so it did not like that. Let's try that again. So it didn't like that 4 terabyte drive. So we'll try, I'm guessing that's the drive that's no good. So we'll go ahead and select the 2 terabyte one, and we can always change this. So actually, I'm just going to make sure there's nothing on that. So G, nothing on there. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead with that. Yes. Server backup. Next. Next. Cache. Next. Apply settings. There we go. Okay, so I need to take that 4 terabyte drive out. It is not being liked. And that's it. Server backup is set up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is set up anywhere access. So we'll have to click over here, click to configure anywhere access, and then next. So we'll close out of disk management there. We're going to run through this. And I'm going to select I want to set up a new domain. And then next. And then this is the subdomain it's going to give us to connect to our server. So we'll have to pick a name that goes in front of that, of course. And you will have to sign in with your Microsoft account. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump right back into it. All right, so we're signed in. So we can either create a new domain or we can choose a registered domain, which I have used for some other servers, but because they're tied, I'm not gonna not going to use those ones. And like I said, I'm going to disable this and set it up my own way afterwards. So we're going to do next, and then I'm just going to call Grogu. It's available. So we'll go next. And it's going to set this up. Oh, I didn't like that. Wait a few minutes and run the wizard again. All right. Let me just double check something here. Ooh, okay, never mind. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to see if the TLS did not take when I set it up originally. So we're going to go ahead and open PowerShell, but we're going to run as administrator. And we're just going to paste this in. Okay, and then we're going to paste this in. Okay, and then we're going to force restart. So, okay, so once this restarts, we will try setting up anywhere access again. Being that this is from 2016, they may have disabled access. So once the server restarts, we'll pop right back in. Okay, so we're booted back into the server. Yeah. Now we'll open our server dashboard. And we'll try the anywhere access again. Try. Oh, really? Okay. No. It appears that they have disabled the remote access. I'll try it one more time. Okay, I'll try using the registered one. No, it doesn't like it. Okay. What about if I have my own domain? So let's see what it does here. So set up your domain name. You have to import trusted SSL and stuff DNS records to your domain name. Walk you through each steps for setting up your domain manually. Okay. So this would be a more involved process, as in we would need to set up a subdomain or a record on our domain provider, and then import the security certificate to our server. It's fairly simple if you have ever managed a domain before, but it has the potential to really screw things up for your existing website or services, including your email if you use an email service that you pay for through your domain service provider. It has the potential to really mess things up. So we're going to go with the assumption that anywhere access has been disabled or deprecated, whatever you want to call it, and that we would either need to set this up manually or use a VPN to connect to the server, which is still my preferred way of connecting, even over reverse proxy. So we'll be canceling out of that. And yeah, I thought there would be some functionality left, but I guess not. Okay, well, that pretty much sums this up. We got our application shared. We got our backup set up. So all that's left is, well, running these applications on our remote, or sorry, our client computer. So I'll get that set up and, excuse me, I'll get that set up and then I'll share the screen once that's booted in. All right, so we are booted into our Windows 10 desktop here. Well, about to be. Okay, so we're booted into the desktop. Now, to access our remote applications, I apologize, I had to turn the video off because my capture card, the overlay for my green screen was actually projecting onto the capture cards, so I wasn't able to actually see anything, or you wouldn't be able to see anything. All right, so we're going to get the applications so that we can access them. We're just going to click on the server. Sorry, we're going to open Launchpad. So right click on the little icon and open Launchpad. Okay. So we see we can do a backup, remote web access, shared folders, or dashboard. We click on dashboard. It's going to ask us to sign in with our user account. Oh, I was logged in on the other computer, so I had to, oh, where are shared applications? Where are they hiding? Remote web access is turned off. Huh. Well, that's not right. Where are remote applications? Hmm. Okay. Well, let's jump back over to our, oh, my crappy green screen. Just a second. Okay. Let's open up our server dashboard and check out our applications. Users. Okay. Okay, let's log in with the other account. Oh, sign out. Okay. Oh, yeah, the overlay. That's what I was. Okay. So let's get signed in with another user. Maybe it's because we were signed in as an admin. I don't know. I like to show you guys my mistakes. So let's see what happens. Okay, must be administrator. Okay. I tested this before and now it's not happy for some reason. Okay. Well, let's go back to our server manager. Oh, I'm not even sharing the right screen. Oh, my bad. Okay, so let me just open this back up here. Uh, I want to run Microsoft Word. So I'll click Word. It's going to download, and I'm just going to click Open. It's going to create the session, and it brings us right to the application, which is fairly quick. We see down here that it is the Microsoft Word running on remote desktop protocol. So once I click OK, it's going to exit. Well, let's try Premiere. Where we got here? Photoshop. Let's try Premiere Rush. So we'll keep open file. No, I didn't see anything run there. More downloads. Premiere Rush. There we go. Wow, that was fast. Okay. So we see Premiere Rush is opening, and if we jump over to our server, we'll just open Task Manager. We see that oh, okay. All right, so we see that when we're trying to open the application on our computer here, that it's asking us to check our browser, which would be on the server. So what I need to do is get this signed in before anyone on the network attempts to use this application. So I'm just going to close out of this, which it's not letting me do. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to open, what am I logged into here? Okay, so we're going to open Photoshop Express. Yeah, next. And I'm going to have to get signed in here. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so basically this does work now. I'm not sure why we have to go to the web in order to use it, but if you're just using it locally or with a VPN, then it's really not an issue. So let me just bring up the capture card here. So if we want to use Microsoft Word, we just click Word, keep, and then open file, and it's going to bring up the application. So I'm just going to get signed in. Okay, I'm going to accept. And that is pretty much it. So just remember that anything that we do open is going to be on the server. So we go browse, we're going to see what is on the server, not what is, we can see that we do have access to our C drive, um, but do remember that we are going to be seeing whatever's on the server. So that pretty much sums this up. Oh, didn't close out of that. Have to, oh, there we go. Okay. So that's pretty much it. It's really simple to get set up. Um, yeah, it's nice and easy. Oh, what are you complaining about? I think I need to do a restart after I installed all those applications. So there we go. If you're familiar with Cisco remote connections, if something goes wrong with your remote connections, you can always disconnect all your connections and reconnect. So I'm just going to close out of this. I'm going to give the server a restart. And that is where I think we're going to end the video. Um, if you guys found this to be useful, give a like and subscribe. Um, yeah, I do thoroughly enjoy making these videos. As you know, I have no issue showing my mistakes or when I mess up or get confused about anything. We're all human, we all make mistakes, and it's what makes us stronger as we move forward. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to get out of here and start working on the next video, which I haven't really decided is, what it's going to be yet. But yeah, this video could have been a little bit better. I do admit that. But yeah, um, yeah, I just kind of, I like to show the mistakes because I find it makes it easier when we go to do them, seeing that someone else made a mistake and how they worked through it. But yeah. All right. So with that, I'm going to end the video, like I've said 3 or 4 times now. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. Hope you found this useful. Give a like and subscribe, and take it easy, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one.